States of America and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
On the beautiful island of Sanibel, you're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio. This is episode number 3 of the Sanibel Show, live from the Dunes Golf and Tennis Club. And we want to say thank you to Brian and his friendly staff over at the Island Cow for hosting our first 2 shows. Next week, we'll be at the Community House with John Henshaw and Tim Drobnik. And I want to make sure I say his name right. Both are running for the City Council as our 2 guests for next Saturday. And we want you to please share this page with your friends and family and subscribe to our YouTube page. We broadcast the show both on Facebook and YouTube, and then it gets uploaded as a podcast so you can listen to it anytime you'd like at beachtalkradio.com, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or whatever app you use to listen to your favorite podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. And our news website is beachtalkradionews.com. Sanibel has a big election coming up on March the 2nd. There are 6 candidates running for 3 open seats. And our first guest this morning is Mary Bondurandt, one of the candidates for office. And Mary, thanks so much for coming on this wintry day here. First of all, I want to let everybody know we're at the Dunes. Did I say that yet? Yes, whoa, we're at the Dunes Golf and Tennis Club. And Chauncey Goss will be joining us. Your mic's not on. Will be joining us in 30 minutes. And Mary, again, welcome to the show. We appreciate your time.
Did he say your last name correctly?
Her mic's not on either, dear. Your one job before the show was to turn the mics on. Mary's mic isn't on. We'll start. You want us to start over again?
And your name? Did he pronounce your name
Everything's
correctly?
working now. Did I say your name correctly, Mary?
Say it again.
Mary Bondurandt.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
And you have you're wearing a billboard there to promote the candidacy. Very nice.
Yes, it's part of our attire.
So, what made you decide to run for office? Why did you decide to run?
Well, I was. Let's see. Let's go back. I came here 24 years ago.
Yes, that's how we're supposed to start. So
right?
tell us about yourself and how you got here. And
Okay. So, 24 years ago, we were invited to Sanibel to our friend's house to spend a day and a night and then take our kids up to Walt Disney World. They were 4 and 6 at the time. And we had never been to Sanibel before. So we were told that we would fly into Fort Myers and we'd come to a bridge and pay a $3 toll at the time.
That's right. That's right.
And come on, make a left and go to their house and spend a day and a night and visit this beautiful island that they so much loved. Well, that turned into a week. We bought a house here in the Dunes, and we moved the next month.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's decisive action.
And if you talk to my children, they'll tell you we never took them to Disney World. It took us 10 years. And we've been paying for that ever since, because I told them, we're going to live in Florida. We'll go to Disney World every day, but they didn't get to go for like 10 years.
Wow.
We just love being here on the island so much. I mean, there's so much to do,
yeah,
and there was so much to discover. I mean, remember, I was only here for a week, driving around with my girlfriend, looking at all the houses that she didn't buy, and found one. And walked in. Fred was playing golf here at the golf course with his friend and a realtor, by the way. And I called him and said, "Hun, when you're done, meet us over here on Mockingbird. Bring the checkbook and the realtor."
Okay.
And he did.
Mockingbird.
Wow.
And he said, "Really? We're going to wake up to palm trees every single day?"
Well, who wouldn't want that, right?
Right.
Is it Mockingbird Lane?
Mockingbird Drive.
Okay,
It should be Mockingbird Lane, right?
Right.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So then you moved here, and then how old were your kids at that time?
Sure, they were 4 and 6.
And so then they went to school here at the
so
Sanibel School, right?
So my daughter Bonnie started at the Children's Center of the Island.
Okay.
She was 4, so she wasn't ready to start kindergarten yet. And John started at the Sanibel School back when it was a K through 5.
Right.
And it was 2 classrooms. So his kindergarten and first grade class was combined because the number of children that were not on the island.
And then you were active at the Sanibel School, and then helped get it go from a K through 5 to a K through 8.
Right.
Is that correct?
So listen to this. So it was a K-5, and you have to remember at 5th grade, our kids had to be bused off the island to go to a different school because we had the choice program. And they could get up as early as 5 o'clock in the morning, have to get on the bus, go to whatever school in Fort Myers. And so the PTA that was in place, I think it was Brenda Harity and Marion Ravenna and all of those folks, they really decided that it was time for us to try and make it a K-5. So we were all on the PTA, K-8.
Yep.
We were all on the PTA. Bunch of parents, did all the assignments they needed to do with the school board and with Lee County. And they said basically at the end, in a nutshell, hey, if you can get that 5th grade class to go to 6th, and then that 6th grade class to go to 7, 7 to go to 8, you could become a K-8. Right. I think a lot of people think Sanibel wasn't going to be able to do that, and we did. We got together, young families. We started the Sanibel School Fund locally. Vince Wolalen donated a car so we could have a campaign so we could hire a Spanish teacher. So, and during that time also, I was this school volunteer coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And then just so easy to be involved, I got involved with the Girl Scouts. So we started the Girl Scouts out here on Sanibel, and I had a troop for several years with my daughter in it. And my son was into the sports back in the old days when the rec center was, not what it is today. And he played basketball. I was a basketball coach. We played baseball coach, So I was doing a lot of fun things.
Yes,
but
you have.
I was very fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom for 16 years with my children on this island. So, there was so much to do on the island in the summers. We'd visit Ding Darling, we'd go biking. I know. And we did wear our headgear.
Good. Safety helmets.
Obviously, she heard the first show or two.
That's right. That's right. We're big proponents
and
of
if
helmets.
I was going to ride my bike if the weather was good.
Yeah. We only push the helmets because we've experienced what it is to hit the ground and be saved by the helmet.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
my husband as well on our bike, on our shared pathways, and he was very thankful he had his headgear on. Broke a few ribs, but he did good.
So fast forward a little bit, and am I okay, dear?
I was just going to say that. Go right ahead. I'm
all
just
right.
trying
So
to
you're running for
you're
running for council, 4-year term for the city council. They're all 4-year terms, correct? They all. So it must be staggered in some way. If there's 3 now, and then is there 2?
And there'll be 2.
Okay.
Yes.
So why in the world would you want to run for politics?
Okay. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Well, I served in the United States Air Force and had a calling for that. And now I have been here on Sanibel for 24 years and basically grew up in, my 30s and 40s and partly 50s. That I could give back to the community. That's been so good to me. I mean, I want to keep Sanibel. We have a wonderful Sanibel plan that was back in 1974 when we incorporated to take care of this island. And I feel responsible to continue to do that for my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and for everyone that drives over that causeway and falls in love with it.
Are there people that are trying to make Sanibel something else? You said to keep Sanibel. Is there a drive to make it something it's not?
No, I don't think so. Our Sanibel plan is in place. We're protected. I mean, I think you spoke with SCCF, and 2/3 of the island is dedicated land. We'd like to keep that always that way, and I think we will.
Nice. What do you see as the issues going forward for Sanibel, the things in the next 4 years, if elected, that you would like to see happen and work towards?
Yeah. So I think the most front thing is the COVID and the pandemic, and we need to recover from that.
Just so people that are listening know, you didn't say the most fun thing. It was a little muffled with your mask, right? You said the front thing, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it sounded like you said the most fun thing.
No, it did, I was
no fun whatsoever.
No fun at all. No fun at all.
The first and foremost thing.
Yeah, and I think that everybody's taken an economic hit on that. Both our budget at the city of Sanibel, which we'll have to look closely at over the next year or two, and so is the businesses. And so I think we need to continue to promote Sanibel safe, how we are safe here, keep our mask mandate going, and be open to everybody, to let them know that we are open and we're open for business and they can still come. Because, everybody that comes to Sanibel starts out as a tourist. They stay a day, maybe a week, then that turns into a month, then 2 months. and then they eventually become an island resident. They usually buy for all the things that it offers.
One of the things that happened at the council meeting last week was they raised the parking for non-residents. It went like up to $300 or something like that. I mean, it really went up a lot. Would you have voted yes for that increase?
Yes, I would have.
How
yes.
come?
Well, when you come to Sanibel, look at the beaches that we're offering you. I mean, it's a beautiful place, and people pay for quality. And this is a beautiful island. And, I think that was the right decision to make.
The other thing is we were talking to Brian from the Dunes earlier about the traffic. And do you have any thoughts on, is there any way to address the traffic? Did you have any ideas about what could be done?
I've been here 24 years, like I said, and the traffic has always been like this, especially, February, March, and April, 3 months of the year, and then the thing that I would like to look into a little further that I've always said, even when we were redoing the causeway back in 2007, is how do you get the traffic off the island? Because we don't have any land to make roundabouts. We can't, widen roads or any of that. And I mean, there's only one way in and one way out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always my thought that once you get to the first bridge going off the island, that you make it 2 lanes right there going out over the islands and the bridges into Summerlin Road, which is already a 2-laner. And that would take twice as many cars off. But I know we have to work with Lee County and we have to, see if that's a possibility. But I sort of see that might be a possibility in the future if we all work together with the city and
where
Lee
would
County.
funding like that come from? You have any idea? The money?
Well, the bridge tolls, monies come in, they get grants. So, there's ways to fund anything that you're looking for.
What's your favorite place to eat at on the island?
It's called Chateau Bondurandt.
I'm glad you answered that. Most people wouldn't they
Well, did you
defer
hear
on
what
that.
she said?
I did.
Okay.
What is that?
That's
It's
my
her house.
Oh, got me on that one. I didn't know that.
You really.
I thought it was. It sounded like a
Those
restaurant
that know
to
the
me.
Bondurants know.
Now,
my
what's your
husband
second
is-
favorite place
Oh,
outside your house?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Too late.
Well,
Too late.
you know what I always tell everybody? What are you looking to eat? Because all of our restaurants are absolutely fabulous. Last night, Fred and I were at the Blue Rendezvous for a little French food. We now like 400 Rabbit for some Mexican food.
Brand new, right?
Traders, Doc Ford,
Right,
George and Wendy's, Mazzaluna for Italian, Dante's for pizza. I mean, there's just so much opportunity and they all do a great job.
Awesome.
Now you mentioned the Sanibel safe, and I know that's one of the when we had John Lai on last week, and we were talking about that. And you actually were a chamber. You worked with the chamber too, up until recently, correct?
Yes, very exciting. 6 years ago, they asked me to come onto the board for the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm in my second term, 6 years. And in 2019, I was the chamber chairwoman. And I have 2 months, Brian, left, and
You can pass the torch.
and then I come off the board. Yes, and it has been a really good opportunity. And I think that's another reason why I thought, I could run for city council, because I really got to understand the business community on Sanibel and Captiva Islands and work with the business owners and see their needs.
How are the businesses doing on the island in relation to the not so fun COVID?
Yeah. Well, they all had the big hit. We had to close down for a little bit. That did affect them greatly. We did open back up, and the traffic count coming over the bridge is going up, and so they're doing okay. I think they're doing as best they can. I know during the pandemic, we, the locals, the residents of the island, tried to support them through takeout. We've added a lot more outdoor seating to the restaurants, and I think people are really enjoying that. So it's going to take a little time, like anything, but I think we're going to be okay.
Do you think the added, because that has come up when we've talked to businesses too, is that added outdoor seating has really been a benefit for them? And is that something that's going to continue, or is that a temporary thing, or the added?
I think it's going to probably we're going to probably continue with it. I think it's a good thing to maybe promote that. And I think it's a good thing to keep outdoor seating, because I think that's going to be some of the new norm.
What do you think the chances are we can get hit by a golf ball sitting here? Have you? I mean, you live on the golf.
Well, if I was golfing,
yeah,
definitely.
She was golfing.
If I was golfing, it would be a club.
Now, even if I was putting over there in the putting, you might get hit. I think we're okay.
I would worry about the wildlife out here.
The nice thing is, if you look, those guys are putting in the opposite direction of us, so I think we're okay.
If I was golfing, you might get hit with a club.
You're one of them.
So one of the things that was interesting and somewhat controversial on the council was that when Jason lost his seat for state office, they didn't reappoint him, so they made it fair for everybody to run in the same group there. So everybody was running without because it's impossible in most elections to beat an incumbent. I don't know if it's true locally like it is nationally, but do you think that was the right decision to do it that way? So everybody had to run?
At first I wasn't sure, but I think now it is. I mean, we're all on the same playing field. I thought now it's a very good decision, because you're right. Sometimes when people are appointed to a position, it's assumed then that they are automatically going to hold that position, whether it's on city council or anywhere else. And I think the six of us feel it's very fair.
Any ideas on who you think should be the mayor now that the current?
I heard you ask that
before. It's just the three of us sitting here. I mean, what do you think? Do you think?
Whole world out there. That's voted with the 5 council members once everybody is seated, and I think that that's a good discussion to have with everybody. There's good pros and cons, and that's what we do up there at the dais. We have good discussion, and I believe whatever 5 council members are up there, they will select the person that they feel is the best. Is that
wow? That was good. That was
awesome. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so, you're a realtor now, is that
correct?
Yes,
I am.
So you have business experience now going into this, but you also, did a lot of volunteer work, a lot of philanthropic work. I was looking at the Let's Pink Out?
Yes.
So,
so how that happened was, in 2009, I was diagnosed with breast cancer myself, and I became a survivor. And when somebody on this island ever has something like that go on, it's amazing how the community reaches out to help you, your family, and whatever they can do. So I was actually at the Shell Museum's Celebrity Island dinner, not as a celebrity waitress that year. And the chief over at the fire station asked how he could get the mobile mammogram to the station. And I said, I don't know, I'll call and find out. And so we did. And that year, I thought I would give back to the community, and I got the bus over here to the fire station, and we offered mammograms free for anyone who was uninsured, the workers or anyone living on Sanibel. And it was very successful. And the following year, we decided to do it again, and it grew a little bit larger, and we raised money. And now last year we became a 501(c)(3).
Wow.
And we raised over $20,000, and we're helping those in need on the island, whether they work or live, with any cancer-related needs, whether they need a ride to Moffett, they might need help with prescriptions, maybe it's a mom that needs help with lunches for their children. And it's just, I'm very proud of being the founder of that, and I have a wonderful board now organizing that. And it's the 3rd Thursday in October. We do a luncheon over at the firehouse. And of course, this year we thought there's no way we can do it with the pandemic. And we did. We did a drive-through. So you drove into the fire bay. We handed you a box lunch. We sold some T-shirts. We wrote raffle tickets. And all of our raffle tickets this year were outdoor sports things,
Nice.
And we still were able to raise money and have a drive-through picnic. It was very
exciting. So the
exciting.
mobile mammogram comes over here once a year? Is that how?
Yeah, well, I think it comes over a couple times a year. Our rec center, the city of Sanibel, has it come over periodically.
So please, everybody, take advantage of that.
Early detection.
Yep.
Is very important.
Let's take the COVID out of the discussion if you can ever. What is if you get elected, what is one issue you really want to snap into? We need to talk about this. Maybe they haven't been talking about it. You really want to put it on the top of your agenda.
Well, the water is very important to me. I have had the opportunity with the Chamber of Commerce to go on up to Tallahassee twice. I've been able to go out to the C-43 reservoir and see that project underway. And, without clean water, we're going to suffer here on Sanibel and our businesses and our beaches. And that, also, hurts our environment, and that really needs to be an issue that we all stay on top of. And so it's a big priority.
Do you feel this governor's been doing enough for clean water?
Yes,
okay.
I do. Yes. And I'm very proud that he was able to keep the money for the C-43 reservoir in place. And we need to keep that going. And
all the candidates that we've interviewed over the years, no one's ever come on and said, I'm for dirty water.
Right.
I'm surprised that not saying.
Well, it depends on what kind of dirty water you're talking about.
I'm just kidding. Everybody, it's clearly an issue for everybody.
It's huge,
yes.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we have to look at our budget. We have to look at how we can keep Sanibel thriving, financially with the businesses and the tourism and the residents, and protect our residents and protect our island at every cost.
Do you think there's going to be a budget shortfall because of the COVID?
The little bit that I think we're slowly recovering. I think that the previous council has done a very, very good job with the city manager and the finance department to have a budget in place. It made really good decisions that I think will recover. And there's, with any budget, there's going to have to be some things that might have to change, but that's even in your own household budget.
Well, that's true.
When you go to vote on March 2nd, in addition to voting for yourself, who else are you going to vote for? I mean, can you give the voters some indication of who you like?
Wow, you really
here's what's so funny about that. Go ahead. You want to answer that, or you want me to say my piece?
Why do you have to interrupt the question?
No, because I asked that.
We all have the right to vote, and and the reason we do it in a private setting is for that reason. And you're not going to take a selfie
just want
to say vote for Mary Bondurandt.
All right,
that's the person you want to vote for. I'm here for you, the city of Sanibel, and all the people, the businesses. So
now go ahead and put the disclaimer on the end of it.
I remember asking that question in another forum, and I got crucified.
Who
for
was that?
It,
it was Rexanne. Was it Rexanne that gave you grief about it?
Like, I
because you asked it so mean. Why you ask mean questions?
I worded it wrongly. So
well, there are the 6 candidates we're all amazing. We all bring something to the table, and so it's really important. I think that people look at. There's 5 seats. There's 2 people sitting on city council. And what other 3 people would make a nice fit that will work together as a team? Because it is a we, not an I.
And we'll do this again, but go ahead and give out your information, because I was on your website and watched the video, which was a very well done video that you did, kind of explaining much like you did here this morning. But I think that gives people a really good, uninterrupted, view of all the qualities that you have and what you stand for and all of that. So go ahead.
Yeah. So we have the website. We have a Facebook page they can go on to. And yes, the video was done organically, which was very nice.
Really? I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I was a nervous wreck. I've never done anything like this before. So it's been a really good learning curve. It makes you grow yourself personally and professionally.
Maybe you should grow a little personally. So how hard has it been to campaign when you're not really, maybe you are going door to door, but
no, I have a really good team working together. We are not going door to door. We are not holding any social events due to the pandemic. I think we're reaching out to everyone with a card, a handwritten card that's gone out in the mail. We're making phone calls. I'm asking anybody that would like to talk to me personally to just give me a call, so I think we're doing very well. I mean, we're really reaching all the people.
When you call people, does anyone ever hang up on you?
Not yet.
Okay, that's good. I wouldn't think anybody on Sanibel would do that. Maybe in Fort Myers or something.
Well, you're calling people, we're a nice small community.
Yeah.
So, people are very kind here. I introduced myself right up front. And I think I have a name recognition, so unless they're not hanging up on me, which I really appreciate. So,
Well, what else would you like our listeners far and wide to know?
Far and wide. Well, I love the island. I love the people, the community, and I hope that everybody sees that. I have a very good passion for this island, dedication, and I would love to serve on city council, and I'm asking each and every one of you for your vote, and it would be greatly appreciated, and I'll work hard for you.
Did you want to give out your phone number or?
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, you didn't mention it before.
It's in every paper anyway.
Okay.
239-839-3633. Call, text. If I don't answer, I'm usually with the client. So please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
And there have been forums already that I think people can go back and watch. The
Chamber of Commerce had one, and the League of Women Voters just had theirs last week, and we have SCCF coming up and the Republican one coming up.
And they're all on Zoom or something like that, right?
Yes, they can all be watched virtually on Zoom.
Which in a way is good because you can watch it anytime you want. If you're not able to watch it live, they usually put them up online.
They send out the links just like yourself, so people can go back and listen and learn.
Well, cool, Mary. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for inviting us into your little neighborhood here in your golf and tennis club.
Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a great visit to the Dunes Golf and Tennis Club. I always want to say Golf and Country Club, but it's a golf and tennis club, right? Do you play a lot of tennis?
No, I am
pickleball?
a huge pickleball.
I never played pickleball, but it's big on Fort Myers Beach too.
Yeah.
People love it
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a great sport. I encourage everyone to give it a try.
When was the last time it snowed on Sanibel? It feels like it's about 40 degrees right now.
Or
that's just because our blood is so thin.
We don't get snow on Sanibel, but we get liquid snow, and that's what you're experiencing today. Is the liquid snow.
It's nice and breezy.
Yes.
I think it's nice it's nice to have a change of weather every
surely
once in a while.
It's definitely very, very nice.
Still a good day to come on out.
Yeah.
Go to the beaches. I'm sure a lot of shells will be washing up this.
Yeah.
It's
with the winds.
The premier shelling place over here. So.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Mary, and good luck in the race. And we'll talk to you maybe when you're on the council.
I hope so. Thank you very, very much.
A big
Okay,
artificial round of applause for Mary Bondurandt. And it's gonna take me a while to read all of the information from Chauncey's background. So while he's making his way over to the facility here, I want to tell you it's a great pleasure to have our next guest back on. Not that it wasn't a great pleasure to have our first guest on, but this time closer to his home here in Sanibel, where